Darling is a small South African town just over an hour's drive from central Cape Town. Its reputation has grown over the years because of various arts festivals that attracts visitors from across the world. One of its famous residents is actor Pieter Dirk Uys, who has entertained audiences at his theatre called Evita se Perron.
21 years ago, I was on my way to McGregor. This was the first Freedom Day. It was 95. And I'd never been to McGregor, and I suddenly end up in Darling. Now that's like going to China and ending up in Brazil. Anyway, bought this bloody old house, went back to Cape Town, said to my friends, I bought a house in Darling. They said, are you mad? 6 months later, I moved into this house. We'd already renovated them, and the guy who was doing the shutters, the architect, the woodworker, had as his workshop the little old Darling station, which was an old block. Looked like an old toilet, this little block, rusted little building in the middle of nowhere. He moved eventually, and the people who owned it said to me, can you use it as a storeroom, otherwise you're going to break it down. Have you got things to store? I said, shoes, lots of shoes. 70 Rand a month. There. Gits man, I stood next to this little building, and it was on the gravel, and a huge train came past, and I thought, hang on. Perron is Afrikaans for station platform. Evita Perron. Evita se Perron. I'm going to turn this into a theatre. So we build this little stage. We have 10 little tables with chairs. We make curry in a little cupboard at the back there, which was where all the hammers and nails were hanging. And once a week, on a Sunday morning, we do a show called Tannie Evita Praat Cactus. I didn't even have a dressing room in those days. I had to dress up in my house. My dogs all going as Tannie Evita appeared, barking at this woman. And Evita would leave the house at noon, just as the NG Kerk came out, and suddenly all the people would say, hallo mevrou Besaidnet, hallo Tannie Evita, the dominee, mevrou, welkom in hierdie wonderlike plek. I thought, hey, where in the world does this happen? And so that's where it started, this little place. People also said you're mad, and mad is a very good thing. And I want to say this to everybody in a small town who has an idea. And if they say to them, oh, you're mad. Yes. Mad means nobody's thought of it. If somebody says, yeah, everybody's fingerprints are on it. So, you'll be in the queue. And so suddenly it was one of those things. People said, what? Darling? Where's Darling? Okay, in the car. Drive for an hour to a place called Darling. That's the first reason to smile. Where are we going? We're going to a place called Evita se Perron to see a woman who doesn't exist. The most famous white woman in South Africa. And it started developing, it started growing. I bought the little building and then the piece of ground, and we built the ANC, the Arts and Crafts. So we kept that style going. Jurassic Park, Tannie Tuin. So that's all part of this work in progress. And so art in its own crazy little way was introduced to this community. Not the only artists, believe me, we met quite a few extraordinary artists. Voorkamerfees once a year, it's now the 12th year of the Voorkamerfees, which has also become an extraordinary experience where the entertainment happens in people's homes. So a little RDP house becomes a theatre for that weekend. And the Darling music experience started after that, and nothing happens quickly or easily. And I keep on saying, don't give up. You do something the first time round, nobody turns up. And the people say, yeah, but you see, it's typical, they're not interested. No, we'll do it again. Yeah, well, nobody will come. You do it the second time, nobody comes. And you think, okay, what now? No, you do it the third time. And the third time, 20 people come. And they come from the community and they say, culture. En julle teruggekom. En ons gedink, julle gaan nie derde keer kom en julle het weer gekom. And now there are 200 to 300 people every time we have a community festival. The basic bottom line to this is, what is this all about? It is to do something without waiting for government. It is to do something without sponsorship. It's to do something without subsidy. We don't have it. We just don't have it. And I just say to them, well then, Evita must go out and she's got to earn the money and then we can do it. And the community said, thank you, we'll give her a street, and the longest street in Darling is the Evita Passedet Boulevard. It's on the GPS.
The Darling Music Experience is an annual event that has run in the small town for the last 11 years. One of its founders, Alfred Legner, says they have been able to use the arts to create employment and boost tourism.
The festival started in January 2006, so that's our 11th season which we're just finishing here. And why? Because I lived in England for many years, and in England you have festivals left and right of the road behind each oak tree, and I was wondering why we don't have one in Darling. And I met a few locals like Henrik Hofmeier, who is a contemporary composer, and David Titpold, a conductor, and we discussed it. What has to happen to create something like this here in Darling? Also because I believe that we need events to foster tourism. Tourism is the only growth area and sector which creates jobs. So this was the economic background. This wonderful backdrop of Darling, which tries for a festival and create events to increase employment in tourism. We started with probably 6-7 musicians, had 3 events, and they all took place in the Darling Presbyterian Church. This is our home base. It was one weekend only, and only recently we expanded it, and now we do 15 to 18 events over 3 weekends. The other thing is what we also do, we sell Darling with all its products. So on our website you have a page what else is on in Darling during the festival. So people can play golf, see the flowers, visit the Sun Education Center, Quartu, go to the beach, and so on. So we do a mountain biking, which is very popular now, so that people have a choice. We are counting 1,000 visitors for such a festival, and if each of them spends only 500 rand, then it contributes to revenues for the community, for the restaurants, for the accommodation industry of 500,000 rand, which is a lot of money for a village like Darling. So I think we're making an impact, but you need more of this kind of work. So through the year we need 5, 6, 7, 8 events, and we are building this right now in Darling, and then it makes an even more meaningful contribution. So it's smaller events which will offer an alternative to what you can see in Cape Town and get in Cape Town. So Darling, you don't come just for an event, you come for a day out in the country, and you get ambience. So you get not just music in our case, but you get ambience. It's a package, it's an experience.
Musicians and others involved in the Darling Music Experience say the event has had a positive impact.
It's the first time we've been here, and hopefully we'll be back again.
Well, it's quite a quaint place, you know, I mean, for this type of thing.
Sure.
I mean, it wouldn't be the same if you just did it in Woodstock Town Hall, you know. It would be meaningless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This place has got character.
Yeah. Very lovely venue.
Yeah.
Really lovely. And so, yeah, it's not just the money. It's also the venue and the people, and we're glad we've come. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. If people are drawn by entertainment to a particular place, it's good for the economy of that particular area. So yeah, great idea.
It's also creating employment for musicians.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, say again?
In short supply. I said it also creates employment for musicians, which is in short supply at the moment. You know. Yeah, that's different, you know, because I mean we're usually working in I play at the Crypt Jazz Club in Cape Town once a month. I do other gigs, you know, all over the show. But coming out here is different. It's a completely different experience compared to anything else in Cape Town.
Okay, the Darling Music Experience is now the 11th year, and it attracts more and more people to this small community of Darling. It spreads the word. Everybody who is living in Darling invites their friends, and so it's well attended and the quality gets better and better. It adds a lot to the town because it's a regular thing every year, and of course the concerts are sometimes in the evening, and so the people stay over, and that is a possibility for Darling to also promote themselves, and they are using the restaurants, they are actually going on hikes, and it brings Darling again on the map. People of Darling definitely go to the festival, so also the residents of Darling meet themselves at the festival.
I think it's something completely different from what people are used to. Normally to our music that we hear from on a CD or something, because every artist takes it and they make it their own. It gives people more of an inside look on Darling, what we are capable of and what we can bring forth to better our music intelligence. It is most definitely a tourist attraction, and also it helps us locals to be more interactive with each other, with other people from outside and from our locals inside.
We see many more inquiries with regards to arts and culture than people expect. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's definitely a draw card for tourists. But more and more we see not just restaurants and nice bed and breakfasts, but activities, especially arts and culture activities. Like music, we see many more and more artists moving into town and offering their services to the locals. And they are very popular and they're very successful. And it started out small, although the Darling Music Festival was a hit from the beginning. They came here at the end of the festival, the last day of the festival. They would come here, the band would play 3 or 4 songs, and people would eat the food. And now there are so many inquiries about this specific day, it being held here on the last day. The band's been playing more and more songs every day, because every time, because the people want more music here. And then after the music they eat the food, and it's become very popular. Most of our guests are from out of town. Many of them are from Europe. And on a day like this, where there are many Germans and British tourists here, they go back, they tell their friends about it, they put it on Facebook, pictures and whatever. And then people come here and they say, we saw you on Facebook, we heard from you from our friends who travel to South Africa. We get that quite a lot. So yeah, lots of exposure.